Welcome back. Webjet shareholders have voted in favour of demerging the travel agency into two separate ASX-listed entities. Web Travel Group, which is Webjet's business operations, and Webjet B2C, which is the consumer-facing side of the company. Webjet B2C will list on the stock market tomorrow with the new ticker code WJL. And the chief executive of that new entity, Karina Barry, joins me now on the set. Karina, thanks for your time.
Lovely to be here.
Why demerge this business?
Well, fundamentally, this is a $3.2 billion business that has two divisions which have sort of grown apart, if you will. One is very much a B2B business. Our customers for that business are, businesses who are selling travel, whereas the Webjet brand is an iconic, household name to Australians and New Zealanders, and that's where you go to buy your online travel. So both businesses have a very different customer, and what we think the best strategy for the business is to allow both to focus on their individual strategies and really deliver shareholder value and also better experiences for their customers.
Yeah, the demerger was only announced in May. I know you joined Webjet in June. What attracted you to Webjet and this consumer-facing business?
Sure. Well, I was actually on the board for a couple of years prior.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so no. And, when you're as a director, you get a really privileged insight to an organisation and, what it's focused on and its strategic agendas. So I was always fascinated by the business in my role there. And when this opportunity, came up as a strategic thought for the board, in terms of how do we maximise value for shareholders, how do we deliver great customer experiences, and the splitting of the two businesses, I was really excited to step in as the CEO of the Webjet brand. And that's because my background is in growing consumer brands online. So I was really excited. It's a household name. And, there's over 5 million Aussies and Kiwis who love the Webjet brand and go there to buy their online travel around the world. So I was pretty excited, and I think it's a really unique strategic opportunity. So
you've been leading the B2C business since June. Just talk us through what are the business units you're actually in charge of?
Yeah, sure. So we have three divisions, if you will. There's webjet.com.au or webjet.co.nz. That's our primary, cornerstone asset, if you will, and that's where people go and get the ultimate choice and convenience in how to buy your flights or your hotels, or you'll hire your car, for example. So that's a major part of the business. The next business is called GoSee. Now, this is what I like to call Webjet Wheels. This is where you can rent. We have two direct-to-consumer brands, being Airport Rentals and Motorhome Republic, and this is where you can hire a car or you can actually hire a motorhome. Now, those two businesses actually have a really large affiliate model as well. So if you go to the Gold Coast Airport, you'll be renting off us, etc. And the third one is really exciting. It's a Canadian-based AI-driven technology company called Trip Ninja. And no, they're not running around in black, but what they are doing is using AI to revolutionise the way that we all buy travel and to make booking those really tricky international multi-stop trips that Aussies and Kiwis buy. We're revolutionising how you do that online to make it really easy, and that's Trip Ninja as well. So those three divisions make up this new Webjet group and the new WJL, as it will be listed tomorrow.
Listing ceremony tomorrow.
Yeah.
There haven't been that many listing ceremonies on the ASX in the last couple of years. But what's the big focus over the next 12 months? I think you're hoping to pay dividends by 2026.
Yeah, correct. We're really excited to return to being a dividend-producing stock, and we built up a bit of franking credit, and we look forward to doing that from FY26 onwards. But the big focus now is, we have a dedicated board, a dedicated leadership team, and a dedicated balance sheet. We have a really robust organic growth strategy, but we're also looking at inorganic as well. So this is a really exciting time for both customers, where we're building out, the best way to buy your travel, but also for shareholders, an opportunity for us to really focus in on that and grow this business, which has been a very consistent cash earner across its entire 26-year-old history. Grows market share every year and delivers beautiful earnings every year. But now we have the really opportunity to grow this.
Travel, big rebound in 2022. Lots of people went overseas for the first time in a long time. But how's the sector going now? We've got cost of living challenges, high inflation. People are tightening their spending. Is it affecting travel?
Look, I definitely think across the industry we're seeing a top-line softening. But the funniest thing about COVID is, if somebody takes away something from you, you want it.
Yeah.
And what our customers are telling us and what we're seeing in the industry statistics is that COVID has really shifted the way that we all think about travel. What used to be a discretionary item is now non-discretionary. And what we're seeing in the statistics is that we are travelling, Aussies and Kiwis are going overseas at higher volumes than we were pre-COVID. And what is driving this is, I think, a real desire to get out there and see the world, because you never know when it could be taken away from you. So the industry's in a very healthy position.
And it also looks like there's other big global airlines that are starting to set up in Australia. Is that increased competition a good thing for prices and fares?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, pricing of an outbound airfare is always going to be a function of supply and demand. And currently, we're only about 80 or 90% of the capacity. By that, I mean the number of flights that can go overseas. And so we're starting to see airlines bring back more capacity, and we're seeing new airlines like Turkish Airlines just entered the market. So that's going to be a really great thing for Australian consumers, and obviously a really great thing for us as well. With the extra supply, of course, pricing comes down, and we've got some really sharp prices for the first time since pre-COVID. Early birds are out, and you can get incredible flights to Europe on Webjet right now, and even some really incredible value up through to Asia. And that's the first time we've seen that real pullback in pricing for the last 4 years, anything up to 20 to 30% on some routes.
And look, interest rates are 12-year highs, but there could be some cuts next year. If that happens, people might have some more money. Is there potential for travel to really pick up in the next coming financial year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we all hit rock bottom during COVID, and then there was revenge travel. Everyone was out to get their Aperol Spritz in Italy or visit friends and family. But what we're seeing is a stabilisation of that. But it's travel's at its highest ever level in all of history. As a percentage of gross disposable income, travel right now is at the highest ever point in history. So that's a really great place to be, and we'll continue to see that grow.
Well, Karina Barry, Chief Executive of the Webjet B2C business, listing tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.